Did you know that 70% of people who get lost in the wilderness die within the first 72 hours? But here's the kicker. Many of those deaths could have been prevented with just one simple tool, a tool that our ancestors used for thousands of years to hunt, fish, and defend themselves. In fact, the oldest wooden spears ever found are over 400,000 years old. That's older than modern humans. Today, I'm going to show you how to make that exact same tool using nothing but what you can find in the wild. Are you ready to learn how to craft a survival spear that could literally save your life? The survival spear. It's one of humanity's oldest and most effective tools. From the caves of early humans to the trenches of modern warfare, from the fishing villages of ancient civilizations to the survival manuals of elite military units, the spear has been the difference between life and death. In a survival situation, this simple weapon becomes your hunter, your protector, and your lifeline. And the best part, you can make one right now with materials lying around you. So grab your knife, and let's get started on what might be the most important skill you'll ever learn. Before we dive into making our spear, let me tell you why this knowledge is so critical. In 2019, a hiker in Alaska survived 23 days in the wilderness after getting lost during a solo trek. How? He crafted primitive tools, including a spear, to catch fish and defend himself from bears. His improvised spear literally kept him alive until rescue arrived. Even in modern military survival training, soldiers are taught to craft field-expedient weapons, and the spear is always lesson number one. Why? Because it multiplies human strength, extends reach, and can be made anywhere on Earth with basic materials. This isn't just primitive technology. This is proven, battle-tested survival science. The first rule of survival crafting: work with nature, not against it. Every environment offers different materials, and a good survivor adapts their approach accordingly. Let me show you how to read your surroundings like a survival catalog. In deciduous forests, like where I am now, look for hardwood saplings: oak, hickory, ash, or maple. These woods are dense and strong. Avoid pine or other conifers for the shaft, unless you have no choice. They're too soft and break easily under stress. The ideal shaft should pass the knee test. If you can't break it over your knee with reasonable force, it's strong enough for a spear. In desert environments, you might use yucca stalks, which are surprisingly tough when dry. Near rivers, look for straight willow or birch. In tropical areas, bamboo is your best friend. It's lightweight, incredibly strong, and naturally straight. For the point, every environment offers options. In rocky areas, look for flint, obsidian, or slate that fractures into sharp edges. Near beaches, broken glass or sharp shells work perfectly. In the woods, you might find discarded metal. Old cans, fence wire, even bottle caps can be fashioned into deadly points. The key is developing your survivor's eye, the ability to look at any object and immediately see its potential. That broken beer bottle isn't trash, it's a razor-sharp spear point. That strip of bark isn't debris, it's high-strength cordage. That dead branch isn't kindling, it's your weapon shaft. Here's what I'm looking for right now: a shaft about 6 to 8 feet long, roughly the thickness of my thumb, with minimal taper and no major knots or branches. I want it dead, but not rotten. Dead wood is seasoned and won't shrink, but rotten wood crumbles under pressure. Now comes the fun part: turning raw materials into a weapon that can save your life. I'm going to show you 3 different spear designs, from basic to advanced, so you can choose based on your situation and available materials. Method 1. Fire-hardened wooden point. This is your most basic design, requiring only a knife and fire. Start by carving one end of your shaft into a sharp point. Make it about 6 inches long with gradual taper. You want strength, not just sharpness. The angle should be around 20 degrees, sharp enough to penetrate, but not so sharp it breaks on impact. Now here's the critical part: fire hardening. This ancient technique actually changes the structure of the wood at a molecular level. Hold your point about 4 inches above hot coals, not flames, which will burn the wood. Rotate constantly, keeping it moving. You'll see the wood gradually darken from light brown to dark chocolate. This process drives out moisture and creates a surface harder than most softwoods. The science behind this is fascinating. You're essentially creating a layer of charcoal on the surface while leaving the inner wood flexible. This gives you the best of both worlds: a hard, sharp tip with a strong, flexible base. 2. Composite stone point. This method creates a more durable and lethal weapon. First, find a sharp piece of stone. Flint is ideal, but any rock that fractures to a sharp edge will work. Slate, obsidian, even broken concrete can serve as spear points. Make a split in your shaft about 6 inches deep, using your knife or a sharp stone as a wedge. Work slowly. If you split too fast, you'll crack the entire shaft. Insert your stone point and test the fit. It should be snug, but not so tight that it splits the wood further. Now for the lashing. Use whatever cordage you have, paracord, shoelaces, or natural materials like bark strips or plant fibers. Start below the split and work upward in a crossing pattern. Each wrap should overlap the previous one by about half. Hold tight with every wrap. This lashing is what keeps your point attached when you strike something hard. Method 3. Metal point attachment. If you're lucky enough to find metal, a knife, arrowhead, or even a sharpened piece of scrap, this creates the most effective spear. The principle is similar to the stone method, but metal allows for different attachment techniques. For a knife, you can either lash it to the side of the shaft like a bayonet, or split the shaft and insert the temps. If you're using your only knife, remember, once it's attached to the spear, it's no longer available for other tasks. Make sure this is the right choice for your situation. For found metal like can lids or fence wire, you can create multiple points by splitting the shaft into several sections and wedging in separate pieces. This creates a multi-pronged spear perfect for fishing. Finishing touches. Regardless of which method you choose, always test your spear before depending on it. Jab it into soft ground several times with increasing force. Check all lashing points. Make sure the balance feels right in your hands. You should be able to hold it comfortably at the center of gravity. Consider adding a handguard by tying a piece of bark or cloth around the shaft where you grip it. This prevents your hand from sliding forward onto the point if you strike something hard, the fish gig. By splitting the end of your spear into 3 or 4 prongs and spreading them with small wedges, you create a specialized fishing tool. Each prong gets sharpened to a needle point, and small barbs can be carved to prevent fish from sliding off. A hunting spear. Add a crossbar about 2 feet from the point. This prevents the spear from penetrating too deeply and getting stuck in large game. It also stops dangerous animals from charging up the shaft to reach you. The throwing spear, shorter and lighter, balanced for flight rather than thrusting. The key is getting the weight distribution perfect. 2-point heavy and it tumbles. 2 back heavy and it can penetrate. The compound spear can use natural materials to create a more sophisticated weapon. Feathers or leaves attached near the rear create stability in flight. A sling loop near the balance point allows you to retrieve the spear after throwing. You can even create a spear thrower or opera using a simple stick, the hook up. This ancient tool effectively doubles the length of your arm, dramatically increasing throwing power and accuracy. Before we wrap up, let's talk safety and responsibility. A spear is a lethal weapon. Treat it with the same respect you'd give a loaded gun. Always be aware of what's behind your target. Never point it at anything you don't intend to destroy. In a real survival situation, making weapons is about staying alive. But remember that local laws vary widely regarding primitive weapons, hunting regulations, and what you can legally do in wilderness areas. Always check local regulations before practicing these skills. Practice in a safe environment first. Start with foam targets and gradually work up to more challenging scenarios. The time to learn these skills is before you need them, not when you're already in crisis. There you have it, a fully functional survival spear made from nothing but natural materials and basic tools. We've covered everything from material selection to advanced modifications. This isn't just a piece of wood anymore. This is confidence, self-reliance, and the knowledge that you can provide for yourself no matter what nature throws at you. Remember, survival isn't about having the fanciest gear. It's about having the knowledge and skills to improvise, adapt, and overcome. A simple spear like this could be the difference between thriving and merely surviving in the wilderness. Our ancestors survived ice ages, predators, and countless challenges using tools just like this. That same potential lies dormant in every one of us. Have you ever had to make improvised tools in the wilderness? I want to hear your stories in the comments below. What creative solutions have you come up with in survival situations? And if you try making your own spear, share photos in the comments or tag me on social media. I love seeing your builds and learning from your experiences. If this video helped you learn something new, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Check out my complete wilderness survival playlist, where we cover everything from fire making to shelter building. Your life might depend on these skills someday. Until next time, stay prepared, stay safe, and remember, the most important survival tool is the one between your ears.